Hi everyone, I'm Joe from Cambridge University Press, and I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our quiz host for this evening, Clare Balding. We're really excited to have Clare with us today and hope you are too. We have a really international audience with us, and I think there are over 1,000 people in, which is fantastic. But just in case you don't know Clare as well as we do, she's an award-winning broadcaster and author. She's worked on every Olympic Games since 1996 and the Paralympics since 2000 for UK broadcasters, and is also a Cambridge University alumni where she graduated from Newnham College. I'm sure you're as keen as I am to get towards the action, so without further ado, I'll hand over to Clare. Clare, over to you.
Thank you so much, Joe. I've never had an announcement like it, an introduction like it, and I will try not to be weird over the course of the next half an hour, but we will have an awful lot of fun because this is going to be a great quiz. Now, if you've got a phone or a second screen or some other way of using Kahoot, could you get onto that now? We'll give you all the details. It is the big live quiz. It's all about English. It's all about our use of language. And I can see, as you're all saying hello, hello back, that you are joining us from all around the world, from Morocco, from India, from Ecuador. I've seen people from Italy and Azerbaijan and Finland and Armenia and Bangladesh and the Dominican Republic and Spain and Brazil. And I will miss somebody out because I could just go through a list of the whole world and all the countries in the world, because I know that you are joining us from all over, thousands of you. So that is absolutely fantastic. And I hope you've had a really good last 3 days. This is the penultimate session of the event. It's about preparing you to go back to class around the world, and I think also to take the joy of learning with you, as well as all the things that we need to know and the ways in which we can share information. I think there's a real sense of fun that works, and that is why people love to keep on learning when they're well beyond their childhood years. So I can see you all still letting me know where you're from. I've got people from Peru and Poland and Mexico, Russia as well. So thank you so much, and it'd be great to hear from you through the quiz as well. 10 short rounds. As I said, it's all about English. Now, you are teachers, and therefore, usually, whatever you say goes. In this instance, think of me as the teacher, and whatever I say is the correct answer. That's the correct answer. No, really, it'll come up on your screen. So if you could log into Kahoot, Joe is going to be clicking through the entire quiz, taking the lead on the technical side of things. So we will show you how to get into Kahoot and the code that you will need to do that. So there should be instructions coming up on screen now, and that will show you exactly what you need to do. We have 943 participants and growing at the moment. So there you go. That's how you're joining us. If you go onto that Kahoot website, or if you already have the app, that is our game pin, okay? So I can see people are doing that really quickly. Well done. You're super smart. It's because you're teachers. And also the chat's gone quiet because everybody's busy joining. So that's good. Give you a couple of minutes to do that. So don't worry, I won't start until I know that you are ready. So look at all of that. Oh, and your names come up. So not just the places that you're from, but Mighty Octopus. I'm loving that as a name. Svetlana, it's me. Well, that's good. That's good that you know it's you. Mighty Rhinos came through there, and Daisy as well, and Mazer and Wonderbook. Oh my word, look at this. This is great, just fabulous. Hundreds and hundreds of you, and the participants are going up as well. 981 people we have now who've joined us. If you're just joining us on the Zoom, just to say we're letting everybody join via Kahoot because that's how we're going to do the quiz. So you need a second screen, and that's your game pin, and then you'll know exactly what we're up to. So you can see the questions in front of you. Because it's about language, it's much easier if you can actually see it. Oh, we've got somebody from Honduras and Kurdistan. And that's fantastic. Good, good, good. So, Joe's going to tell me when we've got enough people.
Give it a couple more minutes. It looks like it's slowly but surely getting there.
I see that. We've got 1,000 people on Zoom, and so far 310 of them, a bit more than that, have logged into Kahoot. Lots of people saying it's easy to get on, so that's great. And hello to everybody who's joining from the UK as well. I should say that. lovely to have everyone from around the world. And I know that over the last few days, you have been able to share ideas as well as learn from those who've been hosting the sessions. But it's just great to have created a community, a great community of learning and teaching and general education. I'm going to apologise in advance in case a kitten suddenly appears into my room here. This is my study, but it's also the kitten room. And at the moment, they're all downstairs, but they might just find their way up here. But they're very, very pretty, so you won't mind, I promise. Now, I know for lots of people, English isn't necessarily your first language, so we're going to give you questions that I think will test you, but hopefully won't be too difficult, because we want it to be inclusive and fun. I'm getting up to the 400 mark. Professor Phil has joined us. Well done, Professor Phil. You're in.
I'll give everyone one more minute, Claire, and then we can crack on.
Okay, one more minute.
You can carry on joining after I press start. We won't be locked, but you'll maybe miss some of the questions.
Actually, you can tell if you've logged in already, and somebody's saying, Oksana's saying, how can I log in? You just need a second screen, Oksana, and you're going to go to the Kahoot website or indeed with the Kahoot app. And this is the game pin, 304595. And that's also up there on the chat that you can see it. So you don't need, you can have it on a smaller screen. You're going to see it in big, you know, on your Zoom, you're going to see the questions as well. But just so that we can log your answers and we'll know who's leading if you're on Kahoot. So you can play along for fun just by watching Zoom. But if you want to have your answers registered and for us to know how you're getting on, then you can do that through Kahoot. And just to let you know that a lot of what we're going to do is inspired by the Cambridge Dictionary. So it's very much got that Cambridge theme to it. And you want to tell me in the chat section, if you want to tell me the sessions that you've really enjoyed, that would be fun as well, because I'd just love to know what you've been up to. So we've now got nearly 500 players, and I think probably those that are playing along for fun are going to be able to do so, whatever happens. So shall we get going?
Let's do it. Okay. Good
stuff. Right, here we go with the big live quiz, hosted by me, Clare Balding. So this first round is called a definitive answer, and each of the questions gives you a definition straight from the Cambridge Dictionary. All you have to do is choose the correct word for that definition. Question 1. Either of the two pointed teeth that are found on each side of the mouth. So that each side of the top of the mouth, what are those pointed teeth called? Either one of them. Is it an eye tooth, a milk tooth, choppers, or gnashers? So either of the two pointed teeth that are found, one on each side of the top of the mouth. Which is the correct word for that? Selected if you're on Kahoot, and most of you going for choppers. The correct answer is actually eye tooth. So well done if you said eye tooth. I think that's pretty difficult. Dentists would know that. But I think that was difficult. Right, Josie, well done. Now you get extra marks for speed as well as accuracy. So Josie nearly getting maximum marks there, and teacher Yennefer also doing well, along with Mauve, Reg and Rose. Question 2. A piece of clothing made of wool and worn over other clothes. It is like a light, soft coat without a lining. What is the correct word for that? The quicker you are, the more points you will score. Is it a donkey jacket, a slicker, a coatigan, or a body warmer? Answers coming in thick and fast. You've got 2 seconds left. And the correct answer is a coatigan, and most of you have said coatigan, but who said it quickest? Josie again. Oh, no, Rose this time. Rose, well done. And cleverly, I'm liking that as a name. That's very funny. Tom and Jerry also doing well, and Paola and Ada the super. I'm loving this scoring system. It's brilliant to be able to see how everybody's doing straight away. Question 3. Someone who often fails or makes mistakes because they have very little ability or skill. Is that person called Butterfingers, a stumblebum, a clodhopper, or a jack of all trades? So someone who often fails or makes mistakes because they have very little ability or skill. And the correct answer is stumblebum, and most of you have gone for that, so congratulations. Who went for it fastest? And that was cleverly, well done. Paola also doing well. You both started impressively. Ada the super is there too, Imka and Ali 8. Now, the next word we're looking for is, I think actually that the stumblebum is an American word, and sometimes they are sort of have an American influence, but this one is very much an educational word. The act of giving a child a lot of extra teaching in an activity or subject because you want them to be very good at it. Do you call that edifying, mainstreaming, hothousing, or upskilling? So when you're giving a child a lot of extra teaching or training in an activity or a subject because you want them to be very good at it, how do you refer to that? Hothousing is the correct answer. Most of you went for upskilling, and I have to say that's what I would have gone for, but hothousing, and I do know that phrase, and particularly around exam time, I think that becomes very relevant. So that, see who's gone quickest there as well as correctly, and it's still cleverly out in front, ahead of Tom and Jerry. Sandy coming into the top 5, and Ishita, and Rose is up there as well. Last question in this round. And many of you know that I'm very keen on horses. Horse riding is used as a treatment for people with physical and mental health conditions. What is it known as? Is it hippotherapy, or what is the correct definition? Hippotherapy, homeopathy, phytotherapy, or naturopathy? And your answers are coming in. You have 1 second left. Now this, for those who know their Greek, they will have got this, because hippos in Greek means horse, and 284 of you got it correct, and hippotherapy is the correct answer. So at the end of round 1, let's see who is out in front. On fire is cleverly, well done. Consistently correct, and also very fast on the buttons, ahead of Tom and Jerry, Sandy, Ishita, and Motu. Welcome to Motu. And cleverly has had 5 correct answers in a row. Well done. Fantastic. Can I just... So just to say, if you're with us on Kahoot, some can just follow this on Zoom and you can play along for fun. But if you're with us on Kahoot, you will be judged according to the correct answer and the speed with which you answer as well. So now, our next round, it is time to change a word to match a new definition. So you'll get a word and a definition, and 4 possible answers have either added letters to this word or removed letters from it to make a new word that matches the definition. So question 1, it'll become clear when you see the questions. Remove a letter to change break into a word that means to cook inside an oven without using liquid or fat. So you're taking out 1 letter from break. You may be rearranging those words, those letters that are left, and it will leave you with a word that means to cook inside an oven without using liquid or fat. There are your 4 options. 4 seconds left. I expect a lot of people got this right. You did indeed. Those going for bake, you're correct, but you had to do it fast as well. So who was fastest? And it's still cleverly, it's just so quick. Ahead of Tom and Jerry, Sandy, Ishita, and Motu, well done. Next question. You're going to add a letter to change otter into a word that means someone who is very unpleasant or does very unpleasant things. You're going to add 1 letter to otter, and it will get you to someone who is very unpleasant or does very unpleasant things. Quick as you can. The faster you are, the more points you get. So your options are Notter, Potter, Rotter, or Lotter. And if you went for the yellow answer, you were correct. Rotter is someone who's very unpleasant or does unpleasant things. We don't like rotters. We do like otters. Is cleverly still out in front? Yes is the answer, ahead of Tom and Jerry. Ishita now up into third place, Rose up into fourth, and Motu there still in the top 5. Well done. Question 3 in this round. And well done, Sandy, streak of 7 correct answers. Add a letter to change plant into a word that means a large mass of rock that moves around the sun or another star. So you're adding 1 letter to plant, and then you will find that you have a word that means a large mass of rock that moves around the sun or another star. I think those that are playing along on Zoom are just putting answers into chat, and that's fine because it's Kahoot that's giving us the score. Nearly all of you saying planet, that is the correct answer. And cleverly, still can't be caught so quick and correct. Tom and Jerry right there. Ishita, well done. Motu and Claire G comes into the top 5. Well done. And Paola, you've had 3 in a row. Back in the game. Those asking how can you join in the quiz, you need to go to the Kahoot website. We'll just put the details up again in the chat box for you. There's an app, or it's kahoot.it, I believe, is the website. And there is a code that also will appear in the chat. But you can just play along on Zoom if you would rather. Okay, next question. Question 4 in this round, 11 of 61 in total. You're going to remove a letter to change splatter into a word that means a large plate for serving food. So remove 1 letter from the word splatter to make a word that means a large plate for serving food. You've got 3 seconds left. And those that have gone platter are absolutely right. Who's done it quickest? Or can anyone be faster than Cleverly is really the question. No is the answer at the moment. Cleverly out in front ahead of Tom and Jerry, Ishita, Claire G and Motu. 88 players now on a correct answer streak of 5. As we move on to the final question in this round, which is, add a letter to change nail into a word that means a small creature with a round shell that moves very slowly. And you're going to be really quick on this. 10 seconds left. You're going to add a letter to change nail into a word that means a small creature with a round shell that moves very slowly. You've got 4 options there, and well done all of you who went blue and said snail. Correct. Starfire back in the game with 3 in a row. Well done. Cleverly still out in front ahead of Tom and Jerry, Ishita, Claire G and Motu. So we will see if Cleverly can continue to set the pace as we move into round 3. Now, you're going to have to finish these funny phrases in our next round. So an idiom is a group of words in a fixed order that have a particular meaning when they are together, but that may be quite different from what the words mean on their own. So we'll see if you can pick the correct words to complete these ones. And this requires really detailed knowledge of English and the way in which phrases are used. And sometimes they don't make any sense at all. So question 1 in this round. We use a phrase, swimming with, and these are your options. Do we say swimming with jellyfish, swimming with crabs, swimming with sharks, or swimming with manatees? And it's a phrase that means you're going into dangerous waters. And swimming with sharks is therefore the correct answer. Admittedly, it would still be dangerous to swim with jellyfish, frankly, and not very comfortable to swim with crabs or manatees. But swimming with sharks means you're surrounded by dangerous people and in a dangerous situation. Cleverly still out in front ahead of Tom and Jerry, Ishita, Claire G and Imka comes on to our leaderboard. Well done. Good effort. And Daniela, by the way, our highest climber, up 181 places. So just to remind you, get extra points for speed. So the next phrase, playing cat and, is it mouse, guinea pig, gerbil, or hamster? And this is a phrase you might use if you're trying to tempt somebody or play with them, or yeah, it's sort of almost like it's almost goading somebody. And watching my little kittens, they only have toy versions of this because the answer is mouse. And I don't really want them coming in with a live mouse. Not yet, anyway. So playing cat and mouse. Cleverly's gone over the 10,000 points, and so have Tom and Jerry. And Ashita and Claire G and Imka are very close to that as well. Very good. We've got plenty coming through with correct answers, getting the hang of this as well. Now, next idiom, don't run before you can. Swim, walk, skip, or ride a horse. I mentioned earlier when we had the question on hippotherapy that I'm keen on horses and grew up surrounded by horses. My father was a racehorse trainer, and actually I did ride a horse before I could walk or run, but the phrase is don't run before you can walk. Essentially saying don't do something really complicated before you can do the simple stuff. Although I sometimes think walking is more difficult than other things. But don't run before you can walk is correct. Oh, we got a mover here. Claire G moving up into third. Well done. And all of our top 5 are on 10,000 points and more. Cleverly still setting the pace. I think Tom and Jerry are closing there. There's not much in it. People getting faster and realizing how much the speed matters. As soon as the answers come up, if you've worked it out, you just press that button. Question 4 in this round. Our next idiom, the icing on the what? Biscuit, donut, cake, or currant bun? And when things are going really well and everything's just feeling great and something extra special happens, we say it is the icing on the cake. So well done to 424 of you who got it absolutely correct. Icing on donut's good as well, or a currant bun, or a biscuit. They all work as food, but as a phrase, icing on the cake. Cleverly well done. Tom and Jerry as well, and our top 5 staying strong. But Neetu's just had an answer streak, a correct answer streak of 3, so well done. Final question in this round. Again, we're looking for the completion of a phrase that begins the bees what? The bees sting, knees, wings, or stripes? You've got 6 seconds left. And in this instance, it's a phrase that means the best of the best. And the answer is knees, the bee's knees. Well done. In fact, lots of you going for the bee's sting, which obviously is technically correct, but it's not the way we use the idiom. So maybe we're going to have a change in the leaderboard here, because 309 people went for the bee's sting and 114 for the bee's knees. What has it done to the leaderboard? Well, it means Mighty Rhinos 54 have come into our top 5. It hasn't changed the order of our top 3 or indeed our top 4, but Mighty Rhinos 54 have come steaming into our top 5. 6 players on a correct answer streak of 4. So the bee's knees, question now on how do you translate? What does it mean? The bee's knees means you're the business, you're the best, you're the boss, it's a phrase we use to say, you know, you're just it. And it's weird because I don't know enough about biology to really know about a bee's knees. I think it's just because it rhymes. It may have a dancing etymology, I'm not sure, but it basically just means you're it, you're the boss. Okay, round 4, staying on the subject of things that might sound funny to you. Let's have a look at dialects from different countries. And this is called Where in the World. And the questions will give you a phrase and tell you it's something you would hear in a particular country. You just have to decide whether you think the right country has been specified. So it's a true or false that we're after. And question 1 will make this clear. When you see the questions, you'll understand what I mean. So true or false, put your jandals on. Jandles is something you would hear in New Zealand. Put your jandals on. Is that true or false? And you've got 7 seconds. At least it's a 50-50. Put your jandals on. Is that something you would hear in wonderful New Zealand? It is true. Jandals is the New Zealand word, or they use that word for flip-flops. The large majority of you getting that correct. But Tom and Jerry have gone to the top of the leaderboard, ahead of Claire G. Cleverly for the first time is not leading, down into 3rd place. Mighty Rhinos 54, and hello to Rosie coming into our top 5. And Claire okay as well, is on a correct answer streak of 3, so well done to her. Question 2. Take a left turn at the robot is something you would hear in America. Is that true or false? Take a left turn at the robot. Is that something you would hear in America? True or false? And it's a direction that would be given to a driver, I would say, because robot is a term for traffic lights, but it is used in South Africa. So it is not in America. Those who have said false, you are correct. It is the word they use in South Africa for traffic lights. And Tom and Jerry obviously knew that, and so did Claire G, and well done to Cleverly as well. And our top 5 are the same, but 9 players have just hit an answer streak of 12, so well done. Question 3. You're such a galah is something that you would hear in Australia. Is that true or false? So is that something Australians would say? You're such a galah. And you see there the rather beautiful picture of the galah, because it is a bird, very colourful bird. In this case, when it's used, it's to say that somebody is a bit of a daft person, you know, and it is true. It would be used in Australia. So well done to those who said true. Tom and Jerry still out in front, Cleverly dropping down to 4th. Mighty Rhinos moving up to 3rd. Claire G and Colin has come. Colin, hello, Colin, has come into our top 5. Fantastic stuff. Right, next one. Question 4 in this round. Can you lend me a loonie is something you'd hear in England. Is that true or false? Can you lend me a loonie? Is that something you would hear in England or in the UK? Across Great Britain, would we say, can you lend me a loonie? Or is it something maybe that would be said in your country or country you have visited? Well, it's not said here. Our Canadian friends would say it. So a loonie is $1 in Canada, and they would say, can you lend me a loonie? So the correct answer there was false. And it looks like most of you got that wrong. So again, we may see a difference to our leaderboard. No, Tom and Jerry definitely didn't get it wrong. And in fact, top 5 seem to have got it right. But I suspect just behind there is a whole load of people who've suddenly jumped up. So well done to everyone who knew that that was false. Question 5, pop the hood. Is that something you would hear in South Africa? Or rather, is it true you would hear it in South Africa? Pop the hood is something you would hear in South Africa. If you think it is, then go for true. If you think it's something you'd hear somewhere else, then go false. 3 seconds left. Lots of people saying true on the chat, but actually it is false because it's something you'd hear in America. And the hood would be the bonnet of your car. So just phrases that are different around the world. And Tom and Jerry were all over it. They didn't make a mistake. No slips in that round. Claire G still in 2nd. Mighty Rhinos 54. Cleverly is in 4th. And Colin is holding his position in 5th. Vale is back in the game with 3 in a row. So well done. And I hope you love, I'm loving the way Kahoot does this. It's so quick to work out exactly who's getting it right and who's doing it fastest. And it's fun to follow because you feel you start to know the competitors, which is lovely. So round 5. Sometimes a selection of words may all have different meanings, but can all be paired with the same extra word and still make sense. So question here for this round is, what's the link? And each question will give you 3 words. You just need to choose which of the 4 answers can be placed before all of these words. So question 1, your words are cream, lolly, pick. Which of these words is going to go before all of those? Chocolate, ice, tooth, or double? And Joan Austin says, very nice educational game. I think it would be quite fun actually, particularly with kids or anybody learning English, and it's a fun way to play around with language. The correct answer is ice, ice cream, ice, lolly, ice, pick. Most of you getting that right. Plenty going for chocolate as well, which nearly right, but ice is the correct answer, and Tom and Jerry were pretty quick off the mark there. Top 5, holding strong. Come on, the rest of you. The faster you get the answer right, the more points you'll get. And if you're faster than Tom and Jerry, for example, you'll steal their points. So it's worth thinking of the answer as I say the question, and then as soon as they come up, bang, go for it. So your next 3 words are burn, umbrella, glasses. Which of these words goes before all 3 of those? Your options are reading, wind, sun, and garden. I think there's a few people on the chat deliberately putting the wrong answer. Somebody's just put chocolate. That was the round before. Sun is the correct answer. Sunburn, sun umbrella, sunglasses. And whoever was fastest will have got the most points, fastest and correct. And it's still Tom and Jerry out in front. Top 5 still, gosh, getting very close to 20,000 points. But good effort. Lots of people getting their answers right and also getting them faster and faster. So next question, or your next 3 words are spray, band, cut. Which of these words goes before all 3 of those? So grass, rubber, short, and hair are your options. It's got to work before all 3 of those words. 3 seconds left. And the correct answer is hair, hairspray, hairband, haircut. And lots of people, because I think as well, because I've said to you, you've got to be fast. Some people will go fast and get the wrong answer. But 355, getting it correct. And Tom and Jerry on fire. They are still out in front, 20,817 points. Top 5 unchanged. Your English is exemplary. Next question. Your 3 words are man, ball, flake. What goes before them all? Is it mountain, tennis, tin, or snow? 10 seconds left. Lots of people saying it in chat as well, which is why so many people have got it correct. 400 have got it right. Snowman, snowball, snowflake. Snow is the correct answer. Final one in this round. Top 5 still hasn't changed. Final question in this round. Your words are costume, goggles, pool. What goes before all 3 of those? Is it work, feature, swimming, or party? You can imagine if lots of schools were playing this against each other, all the shouting would be going on. One person would have to be in control, and they'd all, in this instance, be shouting, swimming, swimming, swimming. Swimming is the correct answer. Swimming costume, swimming goggles, swimming pool. Well done. So at the end of round 5, Tom and Jerry maintain their lead ahead of Claire G, Mighty Rhino, Cleverly, and Colin, all of them with over 20,000 points. Still all to play for though, because as I say, it's speed as well as accuracy. And if Tom and Jerry were to get one wrong, or indeed to be very slow, others would move up. So if you visit the World of Better Learning blog, you might be aware that the team's been interviewing some very interesting, well-known people who have all got great stories about learning languages. But will you be convinced by our made-up answers in Who Are They? So each question is going to give you the name of a celebrity, and you need to decide if the reason they are famous is true or false. So, first question in this round. Is Bridget Kendall famous for being a founder of the Girl Guides, a former foreign correspondent, the inventor of the feather boa, or the record holder for the longest walk in stilettos? What of those things was Bridget Kendall famous for before she came to Cambridge? A former foreign correspondent is the correct answer, but most of you thinking that she was the record holder for the longest walk in stilettos. You are a funny bunch of people. And Cleverly's moved back up into second place because he knew that. Tom and Jerry, though, still out in front. This is a great, I like this. I like this round very much. And I'm quite enjoying, if you think you're not going to get into the top 5, then giving me a funny answer, I'm always going to like that. So that would be good. And lots of people saying they're having a lot of fun. So, and asking more questions about Kahoot as well. So I'll get the team to put up more info for you. So next one. Is Alessia Rulin famous, or was she famous for being the winner of The Voice Russia, the inventor of the horn-rimmed glasses, a High School Musical actress, or the first female lumberjack? Alessia Rulin. The correct answer is a High School Musical actress. Most of you going though for winner of The Voice Russia, and quite a lot saying the first female lumberjack, which I'm enjoying as well. Let's see if that has made a difference to our leaderboard. Claire G now goes into the lead for the first time, sweeping up ahead of Tom and Jerry and Cleverly. Mighty Rhino and Colin still going well. But Claire G and lots of people supporting you, and that's great because we like to see a move in the leaderboard. Next one. So, Roy Hodgson. So is Roy Hodgson famous for having been a football manager who has managed England's national team, the only person to perform a cartwheel on a tightrope, the winemaker who first recommended chips with champagne, or the inventor of the laptop computer? So what's Roy Hodgson famous for? Correct, if you said he was a football manager who has managed England's national team. Actually, still is a football manager, but a sort of mixed bag with the England team. They're not an easy bunch to manage, and those supporting them have to deal with disappointment on a daily basis. But well done to 223 of you getting that right, and they include Claire G because she has maintained her lead over Tom and Jerry and Cleverly and Mighty Rhino and Colin. Next one is, do you know what Peggy Whitson is famous for? So Peggy Whitson, would she have been the head gardener at the Chelsea Flower Show, the only Olympic swimmer not to wear goggles, founder of the World Wildlife Fund, or a NASA astronaut who has spent the highest number of days in space? Which one of those would be correct for Peggy Whitson? The correct answer is a NASA astronaut who spent the highest number of days in space, and 144 of you getting that correct. Who did it fastest? And has it changed our leaderboard? Mighty Rhino 54 has moved up into second place. Well done. Claire G still out in front. And the final one in this round is Giles Yeo. Is Giles Yeo the champion of Australia's Camel Cup for 13 years on his Camel Sparky, World Sudoku champion of 2020, the doctor from the TV show Trust Me, I'm a Doctor, or the first pilot to perform a double loop-the-loop. You see, this doesn't necessarily rely on you reading magazines or following the internet. It relies on you having an all-round knowledge of the World of Better Learning blog. And the answer for Giles is the doctor from TV show Trust Me, I'm a Doctor, which not many people knew, or if they were guessing, they didn't necessarily guess correctly, and that's put Tom and Jerry back into the lead, ahead of Claire and Mighty Rhino. And hello to Bernie Boo, who comes into our top 5 for the first time. Well done, rising up through the ranks. And we have got a ton of players on here, so that is a really good effort. Now, the next round, round 7, is an anagram round. So you're going to see all these words scrambled up. You're going to have a selection of jumbled up letters, and we want the real word that can be made by rearranging those letters on the screen. You're going to be able to actually move them yourself. So you're going to have to type in the answers into the box that appears on the screen. So watch out, watch yourself for spelling mistakes, okay? You're going to see these letters, type out the real word that can be made by rearranging them. The faster you do it, the more points you'll score, but obviously you've got to be correct, okay? And let me just check with Joe. Joe, once they type the letters in, do they have to press return, or will it just automatically work out?
I believe they have to press return.
Press return, okay? Type the letters to make the word, and then press return, okay? So here we go, and I won't say a thing. I just want you to look at the letters and get typing. So you've got 20 seconds. Now, you see, lots of people said listen, which obviously does make sense of those letters, but that doesn't mean without any sound. The correct answer is silent. And actually, I wasn't saying anything to let you read the question, but I think I will this time, because I'll give you a bit more of a clue that'll help you, but I don't want to distract you from your typing. Claire G's gone back into the lead with that. And Nonny again joins us in the top 5. Hello. Tom and Jerry still in second. Cleverly's dropped out of the top 5 for the first time the whole evening. So that is, maybe Cleverly put silent and put listen rather than silent. Who knows? But things can change. So question 2, you're going to unscramble these letters to make a word that means consisting of 2 parts. So there are your letters. Type your answer in here. It's going to mean consisting of 2 parts. So consisting of 2 parts, and let's have a look at the words that most people went for. Lots of people said brainy, which that would have worked, but binary is the answer that means consisting of 2 parts, and only 69 people getting that correct. And what does that mean to the leaderboard? Okay, the leaderboard stays the same. They all got it right. Binary was the answer. They're getting much more difficult now. This requires a, we're on to the next level of English, if you like. Question 3, you're going to unscramble these letters to make a word that means producing eggs from out of the body. So have a look at those letters and type in your answer and press return. Producing eggs from your body. And you've got 5 seconds left. Don't forget to press return when you've put your letters in the correct order. And let's see the top 20 answers. Somebody put binary. That was for the last one. The correct answer for this one was laying eggs. And lots more getting that right, 118 getting it correct. Who did it fastest? And, oh, Cleverly's back into our top 3. Hooray! And some people running out of time there actually as well, I think, by the looks of things, when they were putting in their answers. So you got to be, you know, you've only got a limited amount of time to get the word. Next one, you're going to have a look at these letters and make a word that means 2 ends crossing over each other to make a circular shape. So those are your letters, and the answer will be a word that means 2 ends crossing over each other to make a circular shape. It's a verb. And it is a verb in the past tense. And let's see the words that you came up with. Duple, that's a nice word. It's not the right word, but it's a nice word. Looped is the correct answer. 85 people getting that right. And, oh, hello, Nonny again is back into our top 5, but Claire G still out in front ahead of Tom and Jerry. And Mighty Rhino 54 cleverly in the top 5 as well. Next one in this round, question 5, you're going to unscramble these letters to make a word that means turns in a circle. So have a look at those letters and give me a word that means turn in a circle. It's pretty tough, and you've got 8 seconds left. And let's have a look at the favourite words that came out of those letters and indeed reveal the correct one. Some people just putting in words that go with the picture, not necessarily the letters that were in front of them. Rotate is the correct word. And that was the correct anagram, as it were. 222, if you're getting that right, well done. Claire G still out in front ahead of Tom and Jerry. Nonny again, Mighty Rhino and Cleverly. Round 8, we now move on to, and so far this quiz has tested your knowledge of definitions a fair bit, but definitions can change just to confuse us. So can you work out whether these old definitions are real or whether we've made them up? So first of all, silly, the word silly. Did it used to have a positive meaning? Did it used to mean blessed? Is that true or false? Silly had a positive meaning. It used to mean blessed or blessed. And there's a bunch of silly bananas to illustrate this question. Is that true or false? The answer is it's true. It did used to mean blessed, and most of you did not think that was true. But it did indeed mean blessed. Claire G got it right, and so did Tom and Jerry and Cleverly and Colin. And hello to Ridzilek. I hope I'm saying that right. Into our top 5 for the first time. Question 2. Girl, the word girl, used to mean boy. Is that true or false? Girl used to mean boy. I don't know whether that means that also boy used to mean girl. I don't know whether it's true or whether it's false. Up to you to decide. Well, the answer is it's false, because girl used to mean child. So if you ever get asked that, then you will know. That's your takeaway fact of the day. 350 of you were right on that. Girl did not used to mean boy. And Jane E comes into our top 5. Hello. Joining Rudzilek as our newcomers into the top 5, but Claire G still out in front ahead of Tom and Jerry. Question 3. The word meat used to mean any food. Is that true or false? Meat. Did it used to mean any food? Any old food? Any food at all? So if you were going to say, would you fancy some meat? Could that mean like anything at all, anything to eat? Yes, it could, true. Meat used to mean any food. Question, let's have a quick look at the leaderboard, but I think we'll rattle on through the questions because that hasn't changed. So next question, nice wasn't originally that nice. It used to mean foolish. Is that true or false? That nice used to mean foolish. When I was at school, I had an English teacher who would never let us use this word. Didn't like it, said it was lazy. And I suspect it was because it used to mean foolish. And that's why she would say, don't ever say that somebody or something is nice. It's not a good word. So it is correct, it used to mean foolish. And Jane E clearly knew that and has come up into third, and Emma has joined us in the top 5. Claire G, though, maintaining her lead and the first one to pass 30,000 points. Question 5, forest. The word forest used to mean flowers. Is that true or false? Forest used to mean flowers. True or false? The answer is false, because forest actually used to mean countryside. So it did have a different meaning. Now let's see if that has changed anything here. Jane E comes storming up now to second place. What a rise. Ridzi Lex back into the top 5. Claire G, though, still out in front. Right, to the penultimate round. Did you know that Cambridge University is made up of 31 colleges? And don't worry, this round is not going to test your knowledge of Cambridge colleges, but it is testing your knowledge of words and whether you can work it out, because each question is going to give you a definition. The possible answers are all real names of Cambridge colleges, but which college name is or includes a word related to the definition? So, for example, you become clear, as they often do when I give you the question, a group of 3 things or people. Now here are your options for Cambridge colleges: King's, Pembroke, Trinity or Emmanuel, but which one of those means a group of 3 things or people? The answer is Trinity, and most of you getting that correct, and obviously the clue in the try, but Trinity is a group of 3 things or people, and a very fine college as well. Not much change there. Ridzi Lex and Colin, though. Moving up. Next question. A collection of written or spoken material stored on a computer and used to find out how language is used. Now, which of these college names means that? Selwyn, Corpus Christi, Homerton or Magdalen? And those of you not familiar with Cambridge, I haven't gone bonkers there. That is how you pronounce the word that looks like Magdalen is pronounced Magdalen, only in the Cambridge context. Corpus Christi is correct. I did not know this, and well done to 260 of you who did. Corpus Christi is a collection of written or spoken material stored in a computer, used to find out how language is used. Oh, Tom and Jerry move back up above Jane E, and Nonny again comes back into the top 5. Claire G, though, holding on. Question 3. A male ruler of a country who holds this position because of his royal birth, be quick on it, is that Wolfson, Kings, Girton or Peterhouse? And obviously, 6 seconds left. We're going to ignore the apostrophe is what I was going to say, but I didn't want to say it until we were out of time. But yes, King, obviously. King's is the college that relates to that definition. Most of you getting that right. And it has not changed the top 5. Question 4, a hilly county in the southeast of England is found in which of these college names? Newnham, Robinson, Sydney, Sussex or Gonville and Keys? So one of those colleges includes a word that is a hilly county in the southeast of England. Hilly, not that hilly, but sort of quite hilly, very pretty county is Sussex, and Sydney, Sussex is the one that includes it. And Newnham, by the way, was my college. There's very nice gardens and nobody ever goes there, and it's off the beaten track, and when we're allowed to again, you should go and visit Newnham because it's really, really nice. Question, oh, Janie and Nonnie again have swapped places by the looks of things. Question 5, which college includes this in its title? The area just inside the entrance to a building that leads to other rooms. Lucy Cavendish, Churchill, Murray Edwards, or Hughes Hall. Which of those includes a word that means the area just inside the entrance to a building that leads to other rooms? And the answer is, of course, Hughes Hall, including the word hall, and most of you getting that right. So at the end of that round, Claire G still out in front, and Tom and Jerry and Janie and Nonnie again and Ridzi Let getting all of those correct. So our final round, we're going to have some fun with more funny words in What a Weird World. So it's a true or false round. You're going to have to guess whether the word in the question really does mean what the definition says. So last chance for Glory to get on that leaderboard, to get into the top 5. Be quick, it's true or false. So if you don't know, just be fast. Just guess. So question 1 is scrumptious means tasting extremely good. Is that true or false? And there is a gorgeous child planting an ice cream on its face. And I suspect thinking that that ice cream is scrumptious because it does mean tasting extremely good. And it's not that 158 of you didn't know, it's just 158 of you went really fast. Question 2. Pontificate means to bring down your stress levels by cuddling fluffy animals such as cats. And my kittens have not appeared. They're clearly having fun downstairs. Pontificate means to bring down your stress levels by cuddling fluffy animals such as cats. Is that true or false? It's a great word, pontificate. And those of you that have used it or taught it or read it know that that is false, because pontificate means giving your opinion about something as if you know everything about it in a slightly pompous way. And that's, oh, hello, Nonnie again's moved up into 3rd. Tuga joins us. Well done, Tuga, coming into the top 5 for the first time. Question 3. Topple. The word topple means to wave at someone from the top of something very high. Is that true or false? If you were waving at someone from a building that's very high, would you be toppling at them? Or does topple mean something else completely? Topple means something else completely. It means to lose your balance and to fall down from anywhere, actually. Most of you getting that correct. And again, I suspect that won't have changed. Oh, well, it might have put Tuga's doing well, so. Okay, Ridzi-Lek, Tuga's moved down one, I think, and Ridzi-Lek's come back into the top 5. Next question, ruffle. The word ruffle means to touch or move something smooth so that it's not even. Is that true or false? The word ruffle. Is that what it means? To touch or move something smooth so that it's not even. That is true. You might ruffle your hair, you might ruffle some papers, you might ruffle all sorts, but it would be making it not smooth anymore, or just sort of moving it around. And I think, yeah, top 5 is remaining the same. So, last chance. Here we go, super fast, and you need to be right. Discombobulate. Does discombobulate mean to float in calm water? Is that what discombobulate means? Is that true or false? Again, it's a wonderful word, discombobulate, and it has been used quite a lot in recent times, because I think a fair few people around the world are feeling discombobulated by the situation they find themselves in. So yes, it is not about floating in calm water. It means feeling confused, feeling out of place, out of sorts, just slightly removed from the situation in which you might be comfortable. So that is what it means. Has Claire G held on to her lead? She came into the lead about halfway through the quiz. Has she managed to hold on? Has she won? Has Cleverly suddenly come storming back in? What about Tom and Jerry? They've been right there in the top 2 or 3 the whole way through. Let us find out now who our big live quiz champion is. Oh, it's in 3rd place is Nonny. In 2nd place, Tom and Jerry. And our winner is... with 44 out of 50. Claire G, well done for hanging on in there. That is fantastic, well done. And obviously with extra points for speed as well as accuracy. Well done, Claire. All of the congratulations coming into you from our people on Zoom around the world. They've been gripped by your progress and by your tenacity as well. So well done to everyone who's joined in, and I hope you've learned some new words to take back to your students, or maybe new ideas in how to play with words. Most of all, I hope you have had a really fun evening. It's been lovely to meet many of you, to hear your messages as well, to help play the game with you, because I've enjoyed it, so I really hope you have. And I hope as well that you will join the last session of the Cambridge Live experience. It's happening right now, actually 7 o'clock live from Alberto in Brazil and Pablo in Argentina. So I will get off here so you can join the last session. Thank you very much and good night.